There's absolutely nothing that you want to do here. What I mean, absolutely nothing. Like every single thing, even getting a house, renting a house, sometimes getting a job, buying a car, building a home, taking loan, they would ask you for your credit score. Okay? Hello guys, you're welcome again to my channel. My name is Essay. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're wondering who this girl is, her name is Essay. She's a Nigerian YouTuber based in Canada. And today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of building your credit score in Canada. So where I'm coming from, credit is not really it's not really known. We have a little bit of it, but not so popular. Here, I got here and discovered that it is so important. When I first of all knew that credit was so important, I was when I was asking a friend of mine, like, guy, buy me a new phone now. And he was like, no, don't worry. When you come here, you're going to buy a phone on credit. And I was like, mad. Like, why are you going to tell me that? Why would I come and buy phone on credit? Why would I carry basic to be buying phone? Like, why? Like, so it really did not make any sense to me. And I was like, why would I buy a phone on credit? Like, why can't I buy the phone real? But then I discovered that actually buying a phone on credit would actually pay off long term because it's going to show that have built my credit. So that was why I started knowing the importance of building credit in Canada. And also more importantly, I discovered that anything you want to do, even if you want to rent an apartment, they will ask you for your credit score. They will ask you that, bring your credit report. Now, what is a credit report? The credit report usually shows your total debt and shows what you have. Now, basically, employers, landlord, whoever they are, want to know how well are you able to manage your debts, because it's very important. So you cannot be on one side and say, oh, I don't want any debt, or you have more than, like, you have excessive debt. So it has to be like a balance. Like, you have debt, we are able to balance it up. Because if you do not have any form of debt, when you want to do anything, when you want to borrow for money, you ask, like, what is the proof that you have actually been debt worthy or trustworthy in terms of credit, so which is very important. So what is a credit score? A credit score is a three-digit number, usually start from 300 up to 900. I don't know if anybody have actually had 900. Has anybody had 900? I have no idea. Okay, so but then it ranks up from 3 digits to four, not 4 digits. Let's see what's going on, to 900 credit score. So how do you build that, which is super important? Now, because of the nature of my work, I'm in the finance space, I tend to see a lot of people struggle with this, especially immigrant, and which is why I'm doing this video. So yes, send this video to as many people that needs that, those in Canada, those even in the States. Yes, so basically in Canada, because that's where I'm based, there are two basic credit bureau. We have Equifax and we have TransUnion. Basically, if you borrow any money or you have a credit card, they actually report to Equifax or TransUnion, and usually you're entitled to one free credit report every year from them. Now, why is it very important for you to be able to check your credit report regularly? We've seen situations whereby people your credit report, somebody else, you see, like, you have a loan of $10,000 that you never took. So it's important for you to check your credit if there's anything that is impacting your score, because a lot of people are ignorant about this and they wonder why you're declined for loan or you're declined for any other thing. A lot of immigrants struggle with this process, and I always like to tell them, that, you listen, the most important thing is to build your credit, and you start small. So how do you build your credit? Well, start by getting a simple thing known as a credit card. Okay, the credit card is simply like an amount of money that if financial institution or a credit card company would give to you. Some it ranges from 500 to 5,000 to 10,000 to $50,000, and you are required to spend that amount of money. At the end of the month, they will send you what's known as your credit card statement. Right at the end of the month, when they send you your credit card statement, you are supposed to. They'll tell you that, okay, let's say this month you spend $1,000 on your credit card. You have 21 days from this date on your statement to pay back the money. And once you pay it back, usually you have a minimum payment, but I always tell people, please pay more than the minimum payment. And that way you'll be able to pay it back. Now, I've seen a lot of immigrants struggling in this aspect, a lot, trust me. I work in the financial space and I see a lot of things, and I see a lot of people struggling with this credit, having a huge debt. Which is what I would not want you to do, and I would not advise you to do. So what are the things that can be able to help your credit score? One of which is get what you know you can pay for. There is in as much as sometimes I always tell people, get an increase on your credit limit. If you know you cannot be able to pay for it, if you know you don't have a job to be able to pay off that balance, then please, if you can lower your credit limit. Because the thing that happens is when you keep on missing your credit card statement, this month they send you a statement of $1,000, you miss it. Next month they send you a statement of another $1,000, you miss it. It's piling up. We've had issues and cases where it gets extreme, and if you do not pay it, they're going to take legal action on you. You don't want that. You don't want it to go to anything like collection agencies, because that is going to impact your credit score, and it can last as long as 7 years. Yes. So like, you don't want for the next 7 years of your life something to be bad on your credit report. It's going to be really difficult to rebuild it back again. All right. Now, some people start with what is known as a secured credit card. What does it mean? Like, what do you understand by a secured credit card? Why am I feel like I'm teaching? I'm not teaching. I'm talking to my subscribers. Okay. So, what do you understand by secured credit card? Now, secured credit card basically is, you put the money down. So, for example, you need a credit card of $1,000. You put $1,000 down, and they'll give it to you. Usually, secure credit cards for those that are new to credit and those that are trying to rebuild a bad credit. So that maybe something happened in the past and you had a bad credit, and then you're trying to rebuild that credit. Then yes, you're going to get the secured credit card, and that way you can start rebuilding your credit history again. And yes, it works like that. So what I would always say to you, what do I need to know to be able to build a good credit? First of all, do not use utilization ratio of very high. Do not use your credits too much. What I mean is this. So for example, you have a credit of $1,000, a credit limit of $1,000, and every time your statement comes in, it shows a statement of a balance of $900. That shows you're using 90% of your credit. That is what I was doing for a long time, and that hurt my credit really bad. Yes, I'm talking from experience right now. I had no idea initially when I just got to Canada, and that's what I'm saying, that this, I see a lot of immigrant making. It just shows that you have a credit of 900, and that's what is sent to the credit bureau. And the credit bureau will be like, hey, this essay girl is using too much of her credit. Okay, shut up. Nah. Don't give her anymore. Let's reduce her score. Let's draw it down. Let's draw it down. That's really bad. Okay, so what if you have a credit of 1,000? It's advisable that you use 30% or less. Why? That way, if you are reporting 30% of or less utilization rate, it is better than just using a very high amount of credit, which is what I would not recommend for you. Secondly, I would say to you, pay more than the minimum payment. Usually they'll tell you the minimum payment is maybe $10, or maybe $10 plus all that interest and other charges. I don't also recommend you just to pay. If you can, pay more than minimum payment, because the more you don't pay more than the minimum payment, the more the interest begins to add up, and before you know it, it becomes so huge. Thirdly, I would say to you that do not apply for credits that you cannot be able to pay for. So I have a lot of people that come in here, and because a credit card is like, it's so tempting, like free money, to be honest with you. Like, not really free money, but at that point you feel like, I have this amount of money, I have $15,000 in this credit card. You feel like buying. At the end of the day, you're going to send you a statement. If you're unable to meet up with the payment, it's going to hurt your credit score really bad. So it's not something I would recommend to you for you to do. Please, as much as possible, don't apply for credit too often as well. Why is that? Because each time you apply for credit, there is what is known as a hard check. Now, a hard check is something that actually reduces your credit score. So you apply for a credit card, apply for a line of credit, apply for an auto loan. Those are hard checks, or apply for a mortgage. That actually reduces your credit really, and reduces drastically. So you want to make sure that you do not apply for credit card not just credit card, credit generally too often. And as much as possible, keep your total debt in check. So another way for you to build your credit, pay up your bills on time. So if you are here in Canada, or wherever it is you are watching me from, you know how it goes, right? We have the bills, water, light, utilities generally. You have your phone bill, you have your maybe you took something on credit, maybe your car, whatever it is. Try to meet up on payments on time. So when they send you your statement, once it's due, please try to pay it up on time. Those things also help you build your credit score. When you keep on missing bill payment, what happens is usually it hurts your credit score. And if you get to a point, if they take that to the collection, if it shows on your credit report that you have a collection, it's terrible. So you don't want that, okay? So try as much as possible to pay your bills on time. And finally, what I always say to people is that try to keep your total debt in check. So you know you're earning probably like $1,000 a month. You actually do not really need $5,000 credit card for instance, because how do you intend to pay back? So if for example you're earning $1,000 in a month and you spend $5,000, or you spend $2,000 at the end of the month, you still have to pay your credit card statement. In as much as I always say, okay, pay the minimum payment, but that's not advisable. So try to at least bring your credit limit to know where you are sure you have some income to be able to pay it off on time. And as much as possible, higher credit limit would also help you, because if it's too low, if you feel like having $1,000 is too low, you can always apply for a higher credit limit from anywhere, a credit card company, or you can get more credit card. But at the same time, don't get more than you can handle. I always tell people, debt is good, but at the same time, if you go and carry what you know you cannot pay, it's another problem that happens. So you don't want to take all this basic, like carrying on this, all this loan thing here and there. It's going to hurt your credit score, because at the end of the day, if you actually apply for something like a mortgage, one of the things that happen when you apply for a mortgage is the fact that they always try to weigh your liabilities and your assets. And if you have so much credit and you have less income, they'll feel like you really cannot meet up with the payment. Okay, so as you're getting your auto loan, getting everything you need to try as possible to keep your total credit in check. Don't miss payment, pay your minimum payment, and your credit score will be good to go. Because here you need credit. Trust me, you need credit. Anything and everything you're doing in this place, you need credit, and it's also going to help your finances as well. So the better you manage your credit, if you manage your credit very well, most times you get pre-approved offers from your financial institution or from even other places, because they feel like, oh, this particular person is managing this credit very well, let's give her more money, because that's the way it is. Like, to whom much is given, much is expected. Or if you're doing something very well, more responsibility comes on you. So most times they actually give you an increase. I'm like, okay, we know you applied for a line of credit for 5,000. Let's increase it to 10,000. We see you are managing it properly well. I'm like, oh yeah, and you can take it, especially if you know that you need more credit. And at the end of the day, you pay it back. Okay, so I hope you guys found this video very helpful. Let me know if you have any question about credit scores, and I'll be happy to help you out. Check out my other playlist related to finances and anything else. Let me know if you have any question. I'm still your girl, SA. One love, one peace. See ya.